Hello everyone, it's currently 11:40 p.m. here, and welcome back to the Terraformars channel. Alright folks, tonight we're continuing the recap of the anime series Terraformars. Previously, in Season 1, we saw humanity send a team to Mars to retrieve a sample that had been sent there 500 years ago. But the mission was anything but easy. They were forced to face the Terraformars creatures born from an experiment that evolved into incredibly powerful humanoid monsters. A mission that was supposed to be simple turned into a brutal massacre, and only a handful managed to return alive. The anime is produced by Leiden Films, and as we all know, it's packed with action, blood, and non-stop surprises. Alright, without wasting any more time, this is Terraformars Revenge. In the opening scene, Division 1 and Division 2 continue their fierce battle against the Terraformars until dawn. Amid the chaos, Akari is briefly captured by the enemy but ultimately rescued by his comrades. The anime also reveals a crucial truth: Michelle and Akari are far from ordinary. Michelle is known as first, while Akari is called second. What makes them special is their double power. Unlike other characters who gained abilities through surgical procedures and genetic engineering, Michelle and Akari inherited their powers purely from their parents' genes. The scene shifts to a solemn moment as members of Division 1 and Division 2 pay their final respects to their fallen comrades. With enough Terraformer samples secured, Captain Komachi orders the team to rest for 7 days while continuing their search for the NX-1 mothership. He hopes that along the way, they will reunite with other divisions still fighting. If this mission is successfully completed, the crew will finally return to Earth. But as the ship nears NX-1, Captain Komachi suddenly orders the troops to halt. The reason? A mysterious radio tower stands beside NX-1. Kiji scouts ahead, and the truth is revealed: Liu and the members of Division 4 are still alive. Back during the separation, when each division took their own vessel, Division 4 seized the chance to fake their deaths. They left behind artificial corpses and handed their ship over to the Terraformars. Meanwhile, in secret, Division 4 prepared their own civilization weapons, intending to turn them against the other divisions. Before the story continues, let's meet the members of Division 4, each with terrifying abilities. Liu Yu, leader of Division 4, ranked 44, base operation, blue-ringed octopus. Known for its lethal venom and cunning intelligence, Jet, rank 61, base operation, pistol. Shrimp, famous for its shockwave attack that can stun or kill prey instantly. Baoxilan, rank 50, base operation. Tunicate cloning, a sea creature capable of self-replication. Bao can regenerate his body through a budding-like system. Think Naruto's shadow clones, but here it's pure biology, not a technique. Bergijan Dorji Burge, rank 49, base operation. Grey Wolf, embodying raw strength and predatory instinct. Chun-Li Shi, rank 99, base operation. Flamboyant Cuttlefish, a sea creature with extreme environmental adaptability. Much like a chameleon's mimicry, she can vanish from sight. Hong, rank 97, base operation. Bacteria. His ability is so dangerous he's considered a biological weapon, arguably the most lethal among them, and just a reminder, the higher the Mars ranking, the less they are required to fight. Those at the top hold special status and greater freedom, compared to lower-ranked members. Back to the Division 4 conflict, Liu and his men unleash heavy weaponry, phase arms, automatic rocket launchers, and 2 missiles now locked onto the ships of Division 1 and Division 2. Liu then negotiates with Captain Komachi. His demand is crystal clear: hand over Akari and Michelle, whose bodies are considered extraordinary. If refused, Liu threatens to fire the missiles directly at the ships of Division 1 and Division 2. Instead of fleeing or giving in, Captain Komachi boldly advances with Senjo to confront Division 4. Senjo doesn't fight, he only escorts Komachi to Division 4's base, and there, the battle erupts. Komachi versus everybody. Unfortunately, the outcome was far from ideal. Captain Komachi collapsed and fell unconscious as Division 4 prepared to launch their missiles. They realized that the ships of Division 1 and Division 2 had already escaped soon after. Liu Yu was struck by a surprise attack. Ivan's poisonous gas deployed to save Komachi. At the same time, it was revealed that Division 3 had joined forces with Division 1 and Division 2, believing Division 4 had strayed too far from the mission. Asimov then split Division 3 into 3 smaller squads. The first team, led by Ivan, was assigned to rescue Captain Komachi. The second team. The final mission was a secret, stealing Division 4's rocket, carried out by a single-man Alexander Asimov. In short, the troops of Division 3 under Silver Star Asimov were defeated, yet at that very moment, Alexander emerged wielding the stolen battle weapon, ready to shift the tide of war. Attempting negotiation, Liu instead orders she to transform and eliminate Alexander, yet the battle is suddenly interrupted by a swarm of Terraformars, overwhelming in number, in the chaos. Both Alexander and she lose an arm, forcing the human soldiers to reconsider their fight. This swarm is led by a special Terraformar with the power of the Oniyama dragonfly, a species renowned for its incredible flight speed, testing its smaller Terraformars against the humans. Oniyama becomes a terrifying new threat at that moment. Sanjo and Ivan arrive just in time to aid Division 3 under Asimov's command. Division 4 seizes the chance to escape toward an exile. Division 4's true goal is to unleash Hong's deadly ability is lethal bacteria. This forces Asimov and the remaining soldiers to retreat, realizing something crucial. One member of Unit 3, Alexander, decides to carry out a suicide mission, but what's his purpose? What plan does Alexander have to target Division 4's greatest weapon, Hong, the bacteria? The answer unfolds through a flashback to Alexander's past. In the past, Alexander was an orphan Russian soldier who fell in love with Asimov's daughter, Gina. At first, Gina rejected his feelings, but over time, Alexander was given the chance to meet Asimov. Despite initial opposition, Alexander's persistence eventually won over Gina and her family. They married and had a child together. Tragedy struck when a massive plague claimed Gina and their child, pushing Asimov and Alexander to embark on a mission to explore Mars. Back in the present, Alexander managed to cripple many Division 4 soldiers, but his condition grew dire. He had only one arm left and was infected by Hong's bacteria. Realizing this, Liu ordered his men to secure Hong immediately. Alexander fought fiercely, taking down all guards, but Division 4 reinforcements arrived. He was forced into battle against Brigadier Dorjiberk Jet, and she at once under pressure. She's advantage became clear as a flamboyant cuttlefish. She regenerated his arm and ultimately defeated Alexander. Refusing to surrender, Alexander injected multiple transformation serums and seized Xi's head, yet in a shocking twist, Hong approached and pleaded with Alexander not to kill his comrades. Tragically, Alexander's struggle ended in death's sacrifice seemingly in vain. Meanwhile, Liu realized Alexander had destroyed nearly all Division 4 missiles. Leaving only one, he speculated Alexander hadn't used brute force, but a special anti-Terraformar weapon. Elsewhere, Akari and Michelle set out to join Division 6. On their way, they faced a special bullet anti-Terraformar enhanced with powers resembling Michelle's father, and another Terraformar wielding gas or liquid that blinds opponents. Michelle engaged the bullet, and in a one-on-one fight, while Akari battled the gas type despite being bombarded with bullets and gunfire, Akari dominated the fight. At another location, a Division 1 member secretly transmitted the positions of Divisions 1, 2, and 3 to Division 4. A missile was then aimed at Michelle, but instead of exploding, it opened to reveal a special weapon for Akari, Izumaru. This was the weapon Alexander had fought and died for. Now that hope passed to Akari. In short, Akari emerged victorious. Michelle, though exhausted, also managed to win, yet it was clear both had reached their limit, their bones fractured from the brutal battle, leaving them helpless as they lay defenseless. A figure from Division 4 appeared. His intent was unmistakable. He came to capture Akari and Michelle, who could no longer fight back. Meanwhile, the combined forces of Divisions 1 and 2, led by Marcos, planned to infiltrate Annex 1. Their mission: tap into communications to send a message back to Earth, exposing Division 4's betrayal. Meanwhile, Captain Komachi and Asimov joined forces to retrieve Akari and Michelle, part of their mission to unite with Division 6. At the same time, Bao, escorting Akari and Michelle to Annex 1, was caught in a fierce battle against countless terraformers. The situation grew dire when Bao used Alex and Yako as bait. This was dangerous since terraformers have specific target priorities: the wounded, the fearful, women, and those carrying weapons. At that moment, Yako failed to protect Alex with his seeking powers, and they were cornered by a special terraformar with the ability of a shooting fish. Fortunately, the tide turned with the arrival of the No. 1 Mars ranking, the captain of Division 6. Hailed as the strongest human in history, Joseph Gustav Newton, better known as Joe. A brief flashback about Joe. He is the product of 600 years of human genetic breeding by the Newton family. For centuries, they arranged marriages regardless of race, status, or wealth. The only requirement was appearance, intelligence, and health. The final result of this long experiment was Joe, regarded as the perfect human. In that battle, Joe even discarded his sword so that the shooting fish terraformar would target Bao. Panicked, Bao attempted to throw Michelle away, but Joe swiftly struck and eliminated Bao in an instant. After the dramatic rescue, Joe suddenly and boldly proposed to Michelle, declaring he would marry her once they returned to Earth. Though it sounded absurd, Michelle acknowledged Joe's immense help and added his name to her list of potential husbands. Switching to Marcus's group. During the infiltration mission, they encountered Bo's clones. A clash was inevitable between Marcos and Bao until Marcos ordered his team to escape to Annex 1 with Kiji. While he faced 3 Bao clones alone, even though he was outnumbered, Marcos easily defeated all 3. The reason was simple: Bao was a half-hearted soldier in every aspect, so his clones were no different. Elsewhere, Kiji's group faced the Dragonfly Terraformar. Some members did not survive, but Kiji ultimately defeated the creature despite losing one arm, thanks to his mantis shrimp powers. His arm would regenerate. While searching for protective suits, the technician group that had been with Kiji encountered special terraformers already wearing protective gear. All remaining suits were destroyed. Although the 2 terraformers escaped, it was clear they had a different mission, and indeed their target was Hong. Fortunately, Bao was there to protect him. Though he was struck by a special terraformar, the situation shifted again when she arrived just in time, successfully disabling one of the terraformers. At the same time, Kiji bravely knocked another terraformar down to the lower floor and faced she in a one-on-one duel. Kiji's principle was clear: he would never harm a woman. Much like Sanji from One Piece, he knew that his mantis shrimp punch had the potential to kill an opponent with a single strike. Back to Akari and Michelle. After meeting Joe and learning that Division 6 now only has Joe left, the two finally decided to follow Captain Komachi's instructions. The next step was clear: keep moving north. Meanwhile, the team was preparing strategies to track down and wipe out Division 4, which had betrayed them. On the other side, the technicians had begun hacking the Annex 1 communication tower, previously controlled by Division 4, through underhanded means. But they were shocked by the reappearance of a special transformer that Kiji had previously defeated. Hearing the panic, Kiji, she, and Hong immediately rushed in to help. The situation became complicated because Kiji had to face the special transformer while also fending off Shi's attacks at the same time. Finally, Kiji destroyed the floor beneath them, causing everyone to fall to the ground level there. Kiji and Shi eventually agreed to cooperate after realizing that the transformer they were fighting possessed honey badger powers. By combining their attacks, they managed to win the battle. The problem was that everyone was now stuck on the ground floor. They thought no one would finish the hacking before Hong's bacteria took effect. But it turned out one technician had stayed above, continuing to work despite his body already being infected by Hong's bacteria. Thanks to his sacrifice, the signal in Annex 1 was finally restored, along with all communication devices of the troops. Sadly, the last message he managed to send was only a cry for help. Thanks to his sacrifice, the signal in Annex 1 was finally restored, along with all communication devices of the troops. Sadly, the last message he managed to send was only a cry for help. Fortunately, Marcos and Jared arrived just in time to save their comrades, and eventually they regrouped with the team led by Captain Komachi and Asimov here. Hong gave his antidote to the Kiji group for free, while also declaring his intention to withdraw from the conflict. Komachi then informed them that Michelle had successfully reported Division 4's betrayal to Earth. Moreover, with communications restored, NASA from Earth immediately sent reinforcements. They also detected 3 warships from 3 different regions, one of them from China. In the credit scene, Liu and Bao intended to pursue Akari and Michelle. However, their plan backfired as they ended up facing Joe directly. Meanwhile, on Earth, a terrifying scene was shown. The Terraformars had arrived and begun invading. They had even learned to operate computers and communicate with their elders on Mars. Their numbers kept increasing. Could Earth withstand this? Or was humanity on the brink of extinction? That wraps up today's recap. The battles grow fiercer, secrets are revealed, and the Terraformar threat has now reached Earth. Will humanity survive? We'll find out in the next season. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss our upcoming updates. Your support means a lot and keeps us going to bring more exciting content.